This is the most important piece of gear that you wear when you're riding a motorcycle. This is my 2006 Arai Quantum 2 helmet. See right there. Quantum 2, Snell and Dodd approved. I guess I'll talk a bit about buying this helmet, how I ended up with this one. I went to the store and I basically tried on a bunch of different helmets, Shoei's, HJC's, other Arai's, a few other brands I don't remember. And one of the things you have to remember to do when you're trying on a helmet is make sure that the fit is very secure and snug. Like, the tendency is to buy a helmet that's like one size too large. It's because it'll fit somewhat, it won't feel too loose, but it also won't feel tight. But really that's not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to make sure that the helmet fit is quite snug and that these cheek pads here, they're actually kind of digging into your cheeks and slightly restricting your cheeks from opening up too much. So that's how you know you got a snug fit. But at the same time, even though it should be snug, that doesn't mean it has to be tight, which means there should be no pain anywhere at all. You know, a lot of the times I felt pain, like the Shoei helmets are a little bit narrow at the top for my head shape, and so I felt pain along here or in the temples. And sometimes the pain is not really apparent because you're first putting it on and it just feels snug and you think, oh, okay, this is okay. But you need to wear the helmet longer than 5 minutes when you're in the store. You know, you might look like a total weirdo, but it's good to try the helmet on for a good 15 minutes to half an hour, and most stores around here are pretty cool about that. They understand that it's necessary to wear it for a little while just to make sure there are no pressure points that are going to develop like 15 minutes after you leave the store. So let's talk about the features of this helmet. These are forward and rear vent points with rocker switches for closing and opening these vents. There's the vent exhaust ports in the back there. There's a mouthpiece vent right there. So the ventilation on the helmet is really good. That does contribute a lot to wind noise, so I wear earplugs whenever I'm riding. And you get those earplugs in bulk basically at Home Depot or some building supply place. They should usually provide like over 30 decibels of noise reduction. And that's good enough to let you hear your engine, hear the RPMs, you can hear ambulances and things like that. But it definitely protects your hearing from damage from the wind noise and from the engine noise. Let's see, what else? The pads are all removable on the inside. The cheek pads, the headband pad, the forehead pad, the crown of your head pad, all that stuff is removable. It's sort of like buttoned in and it just sort of snaps out. And then you can wash those in case your helmet's getting a little smelly. The visor has these eyebrow vents. I've noticed my eyebrow vents just keep closing themselves after a while when I'm riding. You just sort of, I take off my helmet, I notice that they've closed themselves. So they don't stay open very well. You can see where I bounced my head off the pavement. All that scratching there. There's a lever here and a lever here behind these silver shells, and you push up these levers and that helps you pop off the visor. The lever on this side is completely broken off and everything in all the mechanisms in here are pretty much smashed up from the hit. Basically whenever you drop your helmet or actually legitimately whack it on the pavement, it's time for a new one because you can't always see the damage that's been done to the structure of the helmet. So this is kind of a pricey helmet. It's like about 450 bucks. You don't need to spend that kind of money. You can spend like 150 bucks and get a equally safe helmet. I think it's just these helmets are a little more expensive mostly because of the brand name, but also because they're really lightweight. They're really lightweight. The aerodynamics are good. The ventilation is good. And mostly I bought it for reasons of fit, though. If I could have found one that fit perfectly For half the price, I would have taken that. But fit and comfort are crucial. So those are my priorities. And that's it for the helmet.